This is JP with Political Pop Culture, and this is my take. Well, sort of. You may have noticed the lack of new content for the past few weeks, and I'd like to apologize for that. The bottom line, look, I needed a couple of mental health days, and I ended up stepping back for a lot longer than I'd intended. Generally speaking, I don't get into my personal life here on Political Pop Culture. That's not what this channel is about. But in this case, I thought maybe I should open up a little bit and explain to you why I haven't been recording lately. If you are a regular listener to my take, or if you listen to the Political Pop Culture podcast, you may have heard me mention in passing that I am primary caregiver to a loved one suffering from dementia. What I've not talked about, and maybe what I should have talked about, is the mental, physical, and the emotional strain that comes with being a caregiver for someone with dementia. Being candid, I am not a nurturer by nature. There's a reason that I didn't go into medicine, and there's a reason that I'm not a doctor or a nurse or a therapist. And it's not that I don't care. It's not that I'm not empathetic or sympathetic. It's just that I am not naturally wired to be a nurturer. So being a caregiver is not something I ever intended nor wanted to be. But being an only child means that the responsibility and the burden falls squarely on my shoulders. The toll, the mental toll that this situation has put on me has, at times, felt like it's insurmountable. In addition to running my own business, and let me tell you, anybody who's ever run a business will tell you it's more than a full-time job on its own. But I also have multiple teenagers in the house. I've got my significant other, who I want to spend as much time with as possible. And I've got my own interests and hobbies that I'd like to be participating in. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't get to spend time with friends and family, and I'm not saying I never get to get out and get my knees in the breeze. But no matter what I'm doing, there's always a twinge of guilt. Should I be home, making sure that mom's eating something? Well, what if she accidentally changes the input on her TV and she can't figure out how to get it back to her channels because she gets so frustrated? Is she standing at the stairs yelling for me, not remembering that I've left the house for a little while? The thing is, most days, mom's okay. Well, maybe not exactly okay, but at least she's aware of who she is and where she is, and for the most part, what's going on around her. That's not to say that there haven't been significant changes in her personality, because there certainly has. She does things that drive other people in the house crazy, things like hoarding silverware, giving the cat an entire bag of treats at one time, opening every single container in the refrigerator and then not resealing them. She also suffers from occasional bouts of paranoia, which thankfully have been significantly tempered with medication. But she's also gone from being the most positive person that I've ever known to being completely self-centered, rude, and if I'm being honest, even kind of mean. She says very hurtful things, especially when she feels like she's not getting her way. And not getting her way can be something as simple as not immediately helping her to find a television program, even though you're in the middle of making dinner for the entire family at the time. Needless to say, the stress level around here has been off the chart, and every day presents a new set of challenges. Some days I rise to the challenge, and you know what? Other days I fall short. That's the nature of life, and the nature of being a caregiver. Whether I signed up for it or not, this is the path that's been put in front of me. And I intend to walk that path as far as it's possible to go. God willing, we'll never have to take her out of her home and away from her family. Look, I'd like to promise you that I won't let it affect political pop culture and that I'll be here doing my take daily, like I should be. I'd like to promise you that, but you know what? I'd be lying to you. And that's something that I'm never going to do. What I can promise you is that I am going to do my best to do better, to be better, and to be here giving my take and, frankly, tearing the mickey out of celebrities and political figures who continue to do and say the most ludicrously stupid things. I would like to thank everyone who's commented, who's DM'd, who's sent messages, emailed, etc. Just knowing that there are people out there who actually give a crap. People that I've never met, but who have heard me here on Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this. You are the reason that I do this. And I just want you to know that I sincerely appreciate your concern, and I'm humbled that so many of you are paying attention. For right now, that's it. That's my take for today. As always, I would love to hear your take. And you can let me know your take by leaving a comment below. Also, hey, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, or give us a rumble. That little bit of effort on your part really does help the channel. And I want you to know how much we truly appreciate it, how much I truly appreciate it. You can also follow us by joining the cult at PolPopCult on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Rumble. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you for listening.